What's up, everybody? I'm just laughing because if you guys saw my setup here, it's like I just don't want to touch anything. Oh well, YouTube is just gonna get my head up. Maybe not. Okay. What I have here right now is like 2 couch pillows, regular pillows, and then my iPad that's doing YouTube right now, and my phone's doing Facebook, and I'm live on both. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Oh my goodness, I was watching this mag team video that I did about this new profound product that I'm talking about, that I'm really excited about, that was originally developed to help people with Alzheimer's and increase memory and stuff like that. I was watching myself, and this prednisone moon face, guys, I only weigh 140 pounds, give or take, on any given day. And my face is like, I'm like, when I turn my face and I'm like watching myself, like you could just see this is like not from diet. I'm not fat, I'm 140. This is like seriously a prednisone moon face. It happens every time I wean off of prednisone. I know it's not that big of a deal. I know people still think I look good and stuff like that, but it just drives me nuts. It drives me freaking nuts. I'm actually down to 25 milligrams of prednisone. Yeah. Last night I didn't get much sleep because I was really excited about this magazine promotion and getting it out, and that was a little rough of a day. I just went down to 25 milligrams, and when you go down every 5, like that's like, it hurts. Like you get the headache, you wake up, you can't move. For like the first few days, or like the first day or so is no problem, but then after that, like the few days after that, it starts to get less and less problemsome. But then after 2 weeks, you got to go down another 5 milligrams, and you got to start the process over again. And then just like, yeah, my face blows up. I actually have images of me in previous videos when I was coming off prednisone and coming off it and stuff like that. Someone says I look very healthy and don't see a moon face that you talk about. Look, all of this. You don't see it now, but once it's gone, you'll be like, oh, okay. Anyway, 140 pounds, guys. I'm skinny as freaking hell, but I have been, I got a weight bench. I started working out. I used to, when I was younger, like 18 or whatever, I used to lift heavy weights, and there was a point where I was actually bench pressing 305 pounds. That's just ridiculous. I used to do that, and I could do it like 3 or 4 times without a spot. And then at one point I injured myself, and I kind of just had to stop at that point. But my muscles have muscle memory, so I've just been using this bench press with really light weights, like extremely light. 5. I don't even know what they are. I don't want to move because my whole setup, I've got pillows here with my iPad and my phone here, doing one on YouTube and one on Facebook, and it will just all crash to the ground. But I literally think they might be 5 pounds each, or maybe even 10 pounds. I haven't done it in so long, but like the first day, like I did it, and then like I came here and did a hangout, and I could like feel my lower back was like sore. It was like scary, you know? But then you just wait 2 days, and then you do it again, and I'm getting stronger, and I could freaking see like my chest all of a sudden, like, I have boobs now. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I'm gonna be badass as long as the Humira works when I'm off the prednisone. Someone says, thank you for bringing me to Jesus. I did that? I'm the one who brought you to Jesus? Are you serious? That's good. I'm actually talking with it. Look, guys, I'm not the type of guy who's going to preach Jesus. Is what I believe in, of course. I don't like the church or anything like that. I actually am really against it, and organized religion and stuff like that most of the time. But I do believe in Jesus. And it's kind of like my specialty. I I used to be in the New Age esoteric, I kind of know how all that works. And then, as many of you know, in my recent history, I got entangled into some serious esoteric black magic. This person was just fooled me in the biggest way possible. Almost acted as if he was a sponsor for me for Jesus and stuff like that when he actually worshiped the devil. It was just, I went, and he was totally into black magic, and it was like the story was he couldn't hide that, but it was like he was making amends and trying to fix his path, repent, and do all that sort of thing. And this was part of it. I was part of his biggest mistake, not the biggest mistake of my life, but I will never put a man on a pedestal. I go straight, direct. I've learned my lesson. There have been many times in my life where I've looked up to someone, and then when you look back, it's just like they're the lowest of the low. Compared to so many other people that are just cool, normal, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm really well versed in that type of thing. I've been through the ringer, guys, and I've seen so much in that realm in terms of the spirit world, the dealing with all I don't want to come off as crazy or anything like that, so I don't really talk about it much, and I don't like turning people off either. But I'm not going to be preaching nonstop like other people do, and I kind of get upset about it. He's gonna pray I get off the pedestal. When someone brings it in, oh, Jesus is the ultimate healer, as if I didn't know. No, well, that's not. It's almost as if they're talking down. It's it's not done in it's done in many people are turned off by it because of that attitude and the way it works. Everything in that world is pushes against it, and it's this really hard game to play to try to help people and stuff like that. But anyway, I try to be careful because there's a lot of people that, my goal, to each his own. I'm not I'm here to help, but I'm not attached to people's outcomes. It's people have choices, and but yeah, I've been through a lot of stuff. I'm just trying to wonder where I should go with all this. I don't know what terrorcore music is. I'm actually getting that prednisone headache a little bit right now. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, back to this whole thing. I titled this video, it was about, thanks, Rose. It has to do with good memory versus fear memory on YouTube, because I put a title on there, and it has to do with the MAG team, because a woman wrote me about the MAG team, because I was talking about a situation in the newsletter in that last video I did about how MAG team helped with the Bacopa and Macunia, helped a person with schizophrenia, took them out of their depressive funk, and they were wondering if it did anything could help their child with ADHD, because she would never put him on any pharmaceutical drugs or something like that. And I agree. I don't think if you think about it, all kids are crazy. They're freaking crazy. Screaming and not paying attention, and well, they pay attention, but I don't know any child that probably doesn't have ADHD or whatever you want to call it, ADD. But so it just made sense to me, because usually in people with her child situation, ADD, there's a magnesium deficiency, and we were just talking about how Magtine is the first, as shown in clinical studies, is the first magnesium that shows statistical difference in crossing the blood-brain barrier to feed the brain really cool, Angelina, to feed the brain with magnesium. So the clinical studies show that it was compared against many other organic forms of magnesium and non-organic forms of magnesium, and nothing crossed the blood-brain barrier like the magtine. So you're able to feed the brain now, and I thought maybe that would be the case. So I decided to research more about magtine, and I came across this clinical study when I was doing that this morning. That's why I sent out two newsletters. If you're not on my newsletter list, messenger me and send me your email, and I'll put it on there. I send newsletters all the time. And so I started researching, and I discovered that when the researchers were first doing these studies with magtine, they were nervous that there's something called good memory and bad memory, also known as fear memory, from phobias, PTSD, like maybe you're scared of heights or spiders or something like that, PTSD and other mental disorders. And I was just reading someone's question, and other mental disorders. And so they were nervous that that the fear memories would also increase with the good memories. Now, if you remember, like memory formation, it takes like a month to create from after taking magtine. There was a study that's showing it could take up to a month. So they were worried that the bad memory would do the same thing, the fear memory. However, the scientists were extremely surprised that only the good memory increased and the bad memory went down. I actually have the clinical study right here. Let me see if I could pull it up here. Okay, so the fear memory is the kind of thing that leads to our anxiety, such as social anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, panic disorder, specific phobias, and other things. Okay, so at the clinical studies, at the link that I shared in the newsletter, they found that increasing brain magnesium with magtine enhances not only the learning and memory ability, but also top-down inhibition of fear memory of rats, explains Dr. blah, 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 one of the study's principal scientists. When the cognitive ability is enhanced, fear responses such as anxiety-like and PTSD-like behaviors are controlled. So the magtine increases the good memory and decreases the fear memory. This is probably why it helped the person with schizophrenia, and it helps so much with anxiety and sleep. The researchers weren't expecting that to happen, and it's pretty cool. So there's the title of that, and of this video. I got it out. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do more live hangouts more frequently. So I thought it was cool. Here, let me see what people are saying here, and I'll answer what everybody's saying. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. I did it last time. Live chat. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this thing doesn't fall over. Okay. This is off topic, and if you don't get a chance to answer my question, it's fine. I bought your... No, don't leave yet. That sucks. Oops. Show chat. Okay. I bought your toothbrush and would like to a little more know on how to use it. Okay. So the company... Okay, so there's all these issues that many companies are having with supply of like elements and things like this. There's a shortage. Someone says when something's good for us, it's good for us in so many ways. Absolutely. I think that... Someone says, I have ADHD. Do you have ADHD? Probably. I don't know. So once you get older, you just develop... I feel like I developed... You could just say I've been humbled in a big way over the years. In a really big way. Okay. So the toothbrush. So we were saying that it's very hard to get certain supplies, and Dr. Tongue's is out of like toothbrushes for like almost... They don't even have a date. Like they're almost saying it's indefinite. I'm like really upset about this because they only last a certain amount of time. I think they'll have them again at some point. It just could be a very long time. Like I can't get them anymore. Nobody could get them anymore. Um, so you're lucky if you got one. I wish I would have got two. But anyway, this toothbrush is amazing. I can't get up or these pillows are going to fall, and so will the iPad and iPhone. But the key is to put water on your thumb on the metal plate on the toothbrush and brush your teeth while it's wet. Now, you don't have to push hard. That's not the key. The goal to make it work is the longer you keep it on, you don't even really have to touch the toothbrush. It literally works with ionic charge and just starts magnetizing the plaque off. You want to touch your teeth, but you don't have to like go crazy. You just have to, it's almost just like the longer you keep it on, the more you're going to notice a difference. My teeth become super white when I do it. And you go like that, and it's like completely smooth. It just completely removes the plaque. It's just like crazy, and it's just like super clean. Your teeth after that. It's probably one of my favorite things. But they're not available anymore. I'll probably I write her all the time saying, hey, you got those back in or whatever. Yeah. Let's see if there's anyone else have any questions? Anyway, so what we have right now, so I have more promotions coming out. If you're not on my newsletter, I give there's new ACOS specials coming out every day this month. They're actually all live on the website right now. I put them all right now, so just so people can take advantage of them all and they don't feel left out. It's at therawfoodworld.com, and you just click ACOS specials, and you'll be noticing that there's a lot of Peruvian superfood powders. I'm doing promotions on them all week, where I will be sharing like all the details on them and why I like them so much. And you'll probably notice that we got our Peruvian superfood Peruvian import in. Someone's saying, am I letting my hair grow back the way it was? Before, I just like let the whole thing grow out. So I'm not really I don't really have any plans. I don't know. But I've been shaving all around the sides like all the time. Like normally I wouldn't have taken that out. Like before I would just let that grow. So it is different. I like the fact that I could just, I'm like holding the pillow here. I could use a tie right now, and then it looks like I brushed my hair. Ooh, but my face is fat from the prednisone. I'm only 140 pounds, everybody. Like seriously, look at that. That is not normal for me. It's crazy. Look at that. That's all prednisone coming off of it. If I wasn't coming off the prednisone and I was just like static, I don't think it's as bad. It's when you wean off of it, your face blows up like prednisone moon face. Hi Diane. And yes, you're gonna hear me complain about it. I'm insecure. I'm self-conscious. I'm not that insecure about it, but no, yeah, I am. These are my ACOS specials. You go to rawfoodworld.com and you click the ACOS specials link category. It's the very top category. I'll get back to that in a second. Yeah, it's like a big deal. It drives me freaking nuts. Because I know what's like waiting underneath this if I can get off the prednisone. Like if the Humira is working and I can get off the prednisone, I'm starting to lift weight. Dude, I'm going to look freaking really good. And you're going to be like, okay, yeah, you'll see. You will see. Just wish me luck. Because like, I've got a disease and it's pretty hardcore. And the prednisone has been the key factor in keeping me free from that. And supposedly the biologics are going to work. We will see. And it only works for a certain amount of time. So then later it's going to come back anyway. But as I switch to the next biologic, if that happens. Anyway, I'm hoping that I could take such good care of myself while on Humira that it goes beyond the typical 5-year time frame of it working. If it doesn't, then there's other new drugs that you get like Entyvio, Stelara, things like that. But you build up antibodies to those things, and I've tried so many of them already, but like not for long periods of time. It just happened that I tried Entyvio, but it didn't work fast enough, so I got surgery. So hopefully I can use it again as an option in the future when Humira stops working. There's something called Stelara. Remicade I did, but I had an allergic reaction to it, to where my face like turned super red. That's supposed to like one of the most effective ones, but you got to go in for like a infusion. I like the Humeric because you just shoot yourself with it. So funny. Me. It's like it was meant to be. I was the one who was supposed to be like the most natural man in the world. It's on meds. Oh, it's such an ironic, funny thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving life. I'm grateful. I have a maybe vanity isn't the word. I just like to look good, and when I know I could look better just based off of something so stupid, it just drives me nuts. Anyway, I'm trying to do more videos more frequently. Have you considered exploring the emotional meaning of your disease? Oy vey. You don't know who you're talking to, dude. Or girl, whatever you are. Well, I call dudes, girls, boys, all people, dude. So I have a pretty good, like, spiritual sense, dudette. I see the spirit world I was gifted in a pretty profound way. And I emotional. No, there's stuff to the emotional stuff. Yeah, I get emotional about stuff, but there's this that I'm dealing with is not an emotional thing. This is like a freaking it's a freaking, it's not a physical thing. It's a what's the word? Exterior, outside force. So here's the spiritual world. Here's my little ding dong within the spiritual world. And there is external entity, parasitic BS that enters into, someone says demons. Then why are you asking me about the freaking emotional thing? And you guys, I don't talk about like the whole, I try to stay away from preaching and stuff like that. And I don't like using the word demons because that's like a turn-off word for people that, because everyone's demons and stuff like that. Like, there are serpents and all sorts of things. I like to use the terminology that actually, this is where I my expertise is good in helping people spiritually, because I know that realm. I know like the turn off words like demons. There are serpents there that I actually can see and stuff like, it's just like, this is kind of where I stop the line. Cause this is where people say, okay, he needs to go to a psych ward. Okay, I've read that people who have near death can see the spiritual world, and even people who have passed. Yes, but that's not why I see it. You have 4 extra what you can send me. What's up, Romy? I got entangled in some crazy stuff. I guess you could say I got, I already talked about it earlier. I got heavily entangled to where I had experienced the spiritual world on such a extreme, intense level, starting in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, in one of the vortex epicenters, amongst some of the top esoteric black magic things. I got involved innocently, thinking I was doing the right thing, thinking I was following my belief system, and it was all meant to be. Like, most people would not have survived that, but the intensity that happened was so intense that it just burnt my spiritual senses open, I guess you could say. I mean, he has control of it all, and he allowed it to happen and enabled it. But there was a time where, before I lost everything, which I'm trying to gain back, this is when I was a multimillionaire, then I lost everything and went into debt $1 million. And I had everything, I had my land in Ecuador with like 9 houses on it, and turned it into a retreat center. Had everything like I possibly want, but all of a sudden I discovered, when I had a collapse with my business, not a collapse, I would say like a scare. And it was this point where I discovered Jesus, I guess you could say. And I sat on the couch one day and I looked up and I was like, I said, nothing is more important to me than this. I will do anything. I want to take this all the way. All the way. Nothing matters to me. And I was warned by this thing I was telling you about, that when you do something like this, you've got to be, the physical, your house is here, your finances, your physical, he showed me his hand like it was crumbling. None of this matters. And I'm like, I don't care. This is the most important thing to me. I want to go all the way. I will do anything. And from that moment forward, I committed, and it was like the most important thing to me ever. And then soon later, I lost everything. One of the houses did collapse. I lost my family for a period of time. I lost my health. Almost died. To the point of, to get that answered, that prayer, to say, I want to take it all the way. I guess a person needs to be humbled to have the responsibility to get what they're asking for. So I'm a very calm, humbled person these days. And yeah, so I've been fried in the spiritual world like you wouldn't believe. I have taken on things that most people, I believe, maybe I'm completely wrong in all this and I'm crazy. Maybe I do belong in a psych ward, but most people wouldn't be able to survive it. That's how crazy. Like, I was just like, it's like being electrocuted, like on an ongoing basis for every day for many years on end, to the high extreme that you can possibly imagine. And that sizzled my spiritual senses open to where, what I'm talking about, or how I could like see certain aspects and stuff like that. So, I wouldn't say it was a near-death experience as you were suggesting. Well, I guess you could say it was. Oh my goodness. But, yeah. Yeah, it is so profound, like the stories. I was writing a book about it, but I just don't, I just can't continue. Just like, I don't know. The things that have happened at retreats too. Um, I've been gifted certain abilities too. Like, um, it's interesting. This is probably one of the reasons why I probably also have issues. I probably misused it, and did things I wasn't supposed to do, with it. Like helping people with the wrong intent, or helping heal a person spiritually, or like where I wasn't supposed to, and maybe I caught something in that way, or like it could be so many different things. But the magical experiences, though, the rare magical experience, and back in that time in Vilcabamba, they were so frequent. I mean, it's kind of like my life, and I just kind of like, I'm in the midst of it all the time, but like the magical experiences that even manifested in the physical world, um, during this period of time, um, is so like, it's almost like like I was awestruck by it. But like when it's happening, it's not like, oh my God. It's almost just like, yeah, this is what it is. It's just like normal. But it's just like, you look back at it and you just are like, those are like experiences that come once in 100 lifetimes. And I was blessed by my Father in heaven, Jesus Christ, to experience so many of them the way I have. It's just unreal. So I go doing my walk every day, 3-4 miles a day, and I keep to myself as much as I can. Like, I don't even like looking at people. Don't get me wrong. If I'm gonna go and tour or go out with you guys or hang out, I'm all extroverted. I'm really good at that type of thing. But when I'm walking in amongst strangers through these realms, I I'm attacked all the time. For example, if you're like walking all by yourself, right? And there's someone way down there that you can see in your vision, like 100 feet away. Like you're by yourself, everything's calm and peaceful, and as soon as they're in your vision, you could kind of like sense like something going on, and it just gets more and more intense until they're at you and then past you, and the closer they are, if you're like feeling, you can sense what's going on. And the key is to like just try to keep everything in, not look at the person on a spiritual level. That's like, is even looking at them. I just almost keep my head down the entire time. Sometimes people say hi to me just to get an attack going. And it's almost like the games that are played in the spirit world is like, oh, you're obligated to say hello to every person that walks by you, and da 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 da. It's almost like, keep your boundaries, man. Like, I just like, why are you talking to me? I don't know who you are. Like, no, but some people are genuinely nice, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like some sort of complete dickhead, but there's a lot of evil out there. And I tend to like just keep to myself, don't look at people, and just like keep it in. And it's not even a matter of like looking physically either. Oh man, we've been going for a while here. But these experiences that I share with you, that I haven't, I don't know, I don't share much about them, because they're pearls, and people rationalize them, and it's not like, yeah. but there are a few that I have shared in videos that I've done in the past. I'll give you one example. Okay, this is the one example I gave once before. So I was in the Vilcabamba town square. And just keep in mind, this is like a very, compared to the gems that I've been talking about, this is a very small little ding dong. So I'm in the town square, and there's this group of Hare Krishna people that are always hanging out, and they're hanging out on this corner by the bank with this overhead, and they're all gathered playing instruments like do-do, 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 do-do. And the music that they're playing was very, it was very trancing. It was almost like putting everybody in a trance and drawing their energy. Is almost if like they were this thing that enveloped this spirit, Hare Krishna spirit, that enveloped all of this group of Hare Krishna people. They were kind of just like drawing people's energy by kind of like trancing them, like in this state. And I could totally see what was happening. This is like the type of thing that I can easily see. And I was walking by them, and I'm just like, like, it's not about the physical look. It was kind of, I'm like, what do you think you're doing? I didn't say a word out of my mouth, but in the spiritual world, I'm like, what the hell do you think you're doing? Like, I gave them a look, like, what do you think you're doing here? Like, and all of a sudden, in the spiritual world, I got attacked. It was almost like I got slimed and bit by this like serpent thing that was enveloping them all. And I was like, I'm like really strong on that level. I can handle something like that, no problem, due to what I've been through. And I was like, oh, you're just disgusting. You make me sick. And I was just like, I just continue to walk by. And then all of a sudden, I see these, hear these, see these comets type things coming in from up above. Boom, hits this thing. And then another one, boom, hits this thing. As if it was like, and then all of a sudden, that trance energy music turned into like this, like, we're not changing our ways, Hare Krishna to the end, music going like, ah, da, 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 like as if it was like a singing to their death. And it completely changed the entire energy of the town square. And it was almost like, that's what they got for doing that for someone who follows the Son of God. And so someone says, what's Daniel Vitale's up to? I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in a while. So I sit here like on a daily basis, like bzzz, I'm doing something. I don't even know what it is, but like I follow the 10 commandments to the best of my ability. I don't look there. I don't look there. Like, it's almost like I've been gifted, and I have some sort of task that I do on an ongoing basis, I guess you could say. Anyway. So yeah, that has been fried open on some level. It's crazy. So there's my story for you on that type of thing. And I also don't like sharing this type of thing because there's consequences too. On some level. On my end. Anyway, so there you go about good energy versus bad fear energy with the Magtane. I'm going to try to do these hangouts more often. I would literally do it every day, but it's hard with kids, and I'm looking at probably 4 or 5 times a week is my goal. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, everybody. And again, I'm not the guy. I like you see, like, while I do follow Jesus, I take it to the edge. Like, there's rules, the 10 Commandments, and I do that, and then I'll take it to the edge, to the point where I'm a bad boy, where I could be a bad boy. Yeah, I'm not the type of guy who like preaches this type of thing, and this is why I say that I'm really good to share this type of thing because I am well versed in that realm of where I used to be, and in the esoteric, belief system and mystics and all that ridiculous stuff. Oh my god, so funny. And it's anyway. It's just so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. Well, I mean, it's not easy, but it's like there's just one important thing that you have to worry about above all else, and it's just so easy, but it's like so hard. It's just to believe, you know, in the Son of God. But everything is working against you in that spiritual realm because they don't want you to do that. And, like it's, most kids, or people are like, oh, I was abused and all these things and pressured to, the church and my family. And it's like everything is just working against it. But it's so funny. Yeah. Anyway, so, back to the Peruvian shipment that we were talking about before. So I was telling everybody that I have at-cost specials coming out all this week, but they're all available on my website right now. And you probably noticed my Peruvian superfood import has come in. We've already announced the raw cacao that's at cost. Tomorrow we're doing lucuma and mesquite. These are my favorite sweeteners. I'll do an entire video on this probably tomorrow. Most people are always looking for like sweeteners, and they're like, the one thing they ask me, like, do you have anything that's not like a sugar alcohol? It's good for some people, but others, like, it gives them digestive issues. Whenever I used to make raw food concoctions, like we also have peeling nuts at cost and the peeling nut butter. I would throw mesquite powder in there with lucuma powder. These are just like superfoods that are low glycemic that taste sweet to me. And mesquite and lucuma are these two magical superfoods, and they have benefits, just like any other superfood. They're nutritious. I would take half mesquite, half lucuma, and throw them in peeling nut. I would stone grind with peeling nuts and make peeling nut chocolate, because you can make chocolate. Peeling nuts have really high fat content. You can put in the refrigerator and it hardens up. But when you don't have a stone grinder, you could like mix in nut milk or coconut water with the peeling nuts, with mesquite and lucuma as the sweetener, put it in a pie pan, harden it in the fridge, and it's more like, instead of chocolate, like if you were to stone grind it, since there's liquid in there, it's more of like a mousse. And the more dense you make it, the less liquid you use, the more together it is, and the less fluffy it is, and that's really good. But I used to just take blended apples and throw mesquite in with lucuma, and then sprinkle mesquite on top. It's almost like sugary to me, tasting sugary, sweet to me, and I would just eat that, that was always good. So yeah, we've got all sorts of the acai berry powder, black maca, red maca, yellow maca, gelatinized maca. We have all these at cost. I've been promoting them all month long in the newsletters. The marine, I don't want to talk about that. We only have 11 left. And everybody's reordering it. So it's like they're feeling the benefits, and we can't get any more for 2 weeks. People are loving the Peruvian olives. Those ones aren't really at cost, but we're getting more soon. For an at cost special in a month or so. Lots of Peruvian superfoods. Oh, the camu powder, Osterella cherry powder, Sacha Inchi protein powder. These are all available. Sacha Inchi protein is really good for vegans because it's a complete protein, and it's hard to get that if you don't have animal products. It has all 9 essential amino acids. Camu powder and Osterella cherry powder have more vitamin C, like 50 times more than oranges, and it's really important to get vitamin C each day because the body doesn't produce on its own. If you're not drinking orange juice every single day from raw oranges, it's something you might want to consider, just 1/4 teaspoon. Plus it has other benefits, and it's a full spectrum vitamin C complex thing, completely different than ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid taken by itself can be disastrous. You don't have to worry about that when you take the full complex. There's many components to it. Sacha Inchi is delicious, she said. Yeah, it's also a tasty, and people are looking for tasty proteins too when you're first trying to stumble upon this path. So we have Sacha Inchi protein powder on our website. You can't eat it raw, Sacha Inchi. That's like one of the things that's toxic, so it's gelatinized, but it's really good. And it has all the omega fatty acids and things like that. Yeah, so we have all this Peruvian superfood stuff, plus many other things like the cashew pieces, the peely nuts, all sorts of things at cost right now. And this week we'll be going into more depth. I'll be doing a peely nut recipe video this week, most likely, and talk about the cameo and stuff like that. Anything else, guys? I don't know. I think that's about it. We've been going for 46 minutes. Oh my goodness, it's midnight here. Probably have to like watch one Disney Plus show or something like that before I go to bed. Even though I didn't get much sleep last night due to this Mag Team promo that I was super excited about. Ugh. Tomorrow my newsletter is mesquite and lacum powder. So stay tuned for that. That's the liquid stuff. It talks about, the title is Replace Sugar with This. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Gonna do this more often. Lots of fun. Love to everybody.